Hi, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. I'm Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me as well. We just wanted to thank you for watching.
Yes. Hey, Bobby.
And hey, and while you're here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You could follow me on YouTube as well as Chaos and the podcast channel, which all three of those channels will be streaming this very show you're about to watch. These counselors start dropping dead, left and right. Heinous killings. Turns out, that kid who drowned the year before, his mother came back to that camp and exacted revenge.
Once upon a time, in the deepest, darkest hellscape known as Ohio, is where our little satanic shit show story begins. The story of Jack and Annie. Well, the story is more about Annie than Jack, but we'll get to that. Rough night, huh?
What the fuck? Who the fuck? What are you doing in my house? Get out!
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Todd Balthazar. My name is Balthazar, and I am your demonic concierge.
My head is pounding. Can't deal with you. What I wouldn't do for an iced coffee.
No, I can provide you with whatever you want. All I ask is a favor in return when the time is needed.
Damn.
We've discovered a signal. Kong, Godzilla, they can feel it. Something is coming. Something even they're afraid of.
Is that a mini Kong?
Oh my god.
That's not just a signal. That's a call for war.
Kong can't stop this on his own.
He won't be alone.
This is Professor Xavier's School for the Gifted. We X-Men learned something very special here, Jubilee. How to control our mutant powers.
Your violence will solve nothing. We must use our special gifts to bring peace to mankind. Better that we die on our feet than live on our knees.
All life is born from chaos.
And sometimes when you're lost, you're found.
We have been waiting for someone worthy of our attention.
Captain, incoming!
Change is the essential process of all existence, Commander Burnham.
Go!
You chose to do the right thing. Even at a great cost to yourself. You helped start a war. Don't you want to help me end it?
Hello. Hey,
Hello.
Bobby. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good, and I don't want to leave him waiting for too long. So we have a special show for everybody. We got an interview today. We're being joined by Kyle Rayburn and Ben Reger.
You got it. Nailed it. Nailed
filmmakers
it.
for wow, I got a name right. That's a first time. We're gonna have to
Proud of you,
record
man.
that.
Nice, buddy.
But they are the filmmakers behind Satanic Soccer Mom from Ohio, a movie I stumbled into during Horror Hound last weekend that I thoroughly enjoyed. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hope you don't mind I shared the link with Bobby so he could get updated.
Dope, no, of course.
Bobby. I'm also very happy to see that you guys actually in the opening featured something that is almost a trademark of our state, like known to people here, but like, you know, outside of it, they don't believe the sign is real, but it does exist, just like hell.
Yes, it does. And it actually got a fantastic reaction, and it really made me happy.
That's great.
So you guys did actually check out the screener link that I sent you, so you saw it in its entirety. Perfect.
Good.
Awesome.
Yes. I saw all the stuff I missed, and yeah.
Awesome.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. It is, I like, it's one of those movies where it's like, I kind of get Clerks vibe from it, like supernatural Clerks vibes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of the style, but like there's still a flow to it, and like there's a passion behind it that I thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah.
Perfect.
You guys want to talk about what inspired you?
Yeah, kind of just the title itself was the main seed of inspiration. We knew that we weren't going to just stop with one, because that's just kind of like cheating a little bit and like having one Dorito. So I thought of the title, and we decided just to put it at the very end of our first movie, Night Work, as kind of like a, you know, coming next Wednesday kind of thing. Like, we're going to be back with another one. And we didn't have a script for it. We just had a title. And I sort of challenged Ben to write his very first sort of fully realized script. I think you had written some in college.
Yeah, I've written some shorts, but yeah.
So yeah, he kind of put all the potatoes together. I added a little bit of meat. Whatever was, you know, added on set stayed as well. But the real inspiration, once we started getting down to it, like, oh, we have to actually make this, because what else are we going to do? Weeds was a big inspiration. Nancy Botwin and that show. The way she takes on these like really big characters and egos in her life while trying to like keep a family together after this like loss. I was just curious, like, if a demon stumbled into Nancy Botwin's kitchen, how would she deal with that? I just love the surrealism of the idea, I think. And I think that's really where a lot of it comes from. Plus, you know, my mom was single, raising kids, so I saw a lot of strong traits that I wanted to kind of, you know, plug into the character. So I think that's kind of really where it started. And then, you know, we did like a short kind of session of A, B, C, middle, beginning, end, and then he kind of just went at it and hammered it out.
Also, we're both children of the 80s, so, you know, obviously films, of course, are a huge influence, but we talked a lot about the movie Little Monsters.
Sure.
Was also a big play.
Definitely.
For sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I could see a big inspiration in the makeup for Beelzebub. Yes, definitely. Bobby, what did you have for him?
Well, I loved everything about the idea, and most of the time I kind of found myself like with especially all the soccer field stuff, just kind of looking around like, wait a minute, do I know that park? Maybe. But I definitely recognized the layout of the house, because like I'm guessing that was like an MI or a Dominion home area.
It's actually my house. I believe it was like a Fisher home from like
okay, because we have those all over here, so I was like, I know that
exactly.
layout.
It's an Ohio house, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I really just loved the whole idea of it, and I definitely see how you mentioned you got inspiration from the show Weeds. I could totally see that now.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it. I was laughing throughout all of it.
Awesome.
Very entertaining.
Thank you. That makes me feel
thoroughly entertaining.
Good.
Definitely.
No, there's so much that I just, it's one of those things where you just stumble into something and it's like, wow, this is special. I really enjoyed it.
I had walked past a booth that had the name on it, and I remember even doing a double take, like, wait, what?
We got a lot of
Yeah.
those, man. We got a lot of people coming like, "What is that?" Or like, they can hear me, "Oh my god, did you see that?" Like, yes.
It's like, is that a band?
Come talk
Like,
to
what?
us. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing your booth, but yeah, I know the name. When I was looking at the schedule, the name, I was just like, that's an interesting name.
Yeah. Actually, I just talked to Jacob, who is the director of Compression. They won 7 out of the 11 awards they were nominated for. They just like crushed it.
Oh my God.
He was just like, we were kind of exchanging hellos. Yeah, and he just said, "I want you to know, you hands down had the best title of the festival." He's like, when it popped up, he's just like, "Man, I wish that was mine." So I think it's just like little sparks of madness like that will like literally motivate us to no end. We have obviously the one we're getting ready to do that's coming up, but I also have another one that I want to do just because based off the idea and the name alone, it's just kind of one of those things. We've already got ourselves in this deep. Might as well just see how far down the rabbit hole we can go. And I feel like there are shifting tones coming up compared to Night Work, Satanic, and then what will be He's Coming to Get You, and then what will eventually be the next one. I think we're exploring a lot of fun ideas in our super indie space.
Mm-hmm. So, do you want to dive into your next one? You don't have to say too much, but like,
No, we'd love to say as much as we could.
Okay, go for it. Yeah,
yeah.
Use my platform.
Obviously, Satanic Soccer Mom was kind of like a creature feature, sort of, if you will, of X-Files proportions, and when you put it that way. This one's more of like a revenge tale with a splash of martial arts and voodoo and rock and roll. So it's called He's Coming to Get You. And it's about a couple who go out on just like a typical date, and unfortunately they run into some kidnappers, and they shoot George, steal Asia, and a witness sort of sees the whole thing go down, and she uses a little bit of black magic to resurrect him, and he has a set of parameters to follow to get his girl back. But he's basically invincible and is a voodoo pain sponge, is what we're calling him. And so, we're going to incorporate some things we've never really done before. Some bloodier gags, some neck snaps, and some chest bursting. And we're really trying to spread a little bit of of our wings and try to open up some new ideas and tell a different type of story.
I think a little quicker as well. I think in our first two, we do a lot of just kind of static camera work. This one we kind of like to move it with that, maybe do multiple cameras with it as well. So, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Multiple iPhones is what he meant
Yes,
to say.
iPhone.
Your cameras are so fancy.
All of our films are done on iPhone, friends.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, that's impressive too. I mean, just
Yeah.
the technical, the limitations of an iPhone. It's weird because the iPhone actually gets like phones get good video, but like it can be tough to struggle with because there's a film quality that it's weird.
Sure.
But I think it's impressive how you guys are able to pull it together. So like you're able to look past that because you're just having so much fun with the movie.
Yeah.
It's quite awesome. What caused you guys to get into doing this type of thing?
It was literally for me before I had really hooked back up with Ben. We graduated from the same high school just a few years apart, and we had known each other back then, but we really hadn't connected in probably like 10 or some years.
Yeah, probably 15 plus years. Yeah.
But I went to Horror Hound to meet Michael Madsen is how this whole thing started. My buddy said, "Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but Michael Madsen's going to be in Sharonville." And like, to me, he's like Elvis Presley. And so I went to meet Michael Madsen, and then I sort of got wrapped up in the swirl of the film festival. And I think one of the first things I saw was Brian K. Williams' Time to Kill. And this was his first movie. And obviously he went on to do like Space from Outer Space and Jesse's Super Normal Regular Average Day. But that's what I got the bug big time there, because it was right in my backyard. I was only about an hour and a half away from Sharonville. So I knew that this was potentially something that I could kind of tap into and just meet people and have talent. that was in the area and just kind of start making it. I had this idea for the first movie we did because I worked for a construction company and I had never heard the term night work before. And that's very common in the construction industry. People just say night work all the time. It's night work. And so I had this idea about these two clumsy, sort of drunken, haphazard, super paranormal, guys going and fighting things that go bump in the night, and here we are 2 films later.
Nice.
I've always been just a huge movie geek, always. And then when Kyle had this idea for night, we kind of connected. I'm like, absolutely. Send me the script, read it. So let's do this, but with the parameters of let's build this as well, because I have some ideas, and we'll kind of learn together how to make movies. Is what was pretty much what we're doing.
Okay.
That sounds very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I just love the idea of just people getting inspired to make movies. I think that's really cool. It's something I always wanted to do, but I didn't. But I think it's cool that you guys are doing it.
Get an iPhone.
Yeah, that is true. That's something I'm realizing as I'm getting older. But there's always still time.
Exactly.
But it's cool that you guys are doing it. If people want to see your stuff, where can they?
Yeah, great question. We're obviously trying to get it to a place where it can stream. It means a few re-edits on my part, but if you just want to buy a good old-fashioned physical copy for when the internet finally goes down forever, little fear-mongering there, buy our movie. But yeah, just like we're on Facebook, we got sniped on Instagram for whatever reason, so they can reach us out on Facebook and grab a copy. We have some new batches getting ready to arrive, but right now just Blu-ray, and hopefully in the future Tubi or Shudder.
Okay, so Midnight Film Company on Facebook.
That's correct.
The Midnight Film Company.
Yep.
You got it.
All right. Sounds awesome. I will keep an eye on you guys because I'm a really big fan.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
I guess Bobby, anything else you want to throw at him?
Wrap it up, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see more from you guys. Absolutely, because I loved everything about that about Satanic Soccer Moms. I get a couple questions I had. Where were some of the locations that you picked, other than the ones we discussed, the house and some of the the soccer fields and the bars?
Yeah, my mom's house, a local wood fire pizza restaurant for when the devil and Jack are doing all the cocaine and playing Candyland.
Our buddy's bar here. Everything was shot here in Delaware, Ohio. So just north of Columbus. Like you said, Annie's house was my personal house, and then the fields and stuff are just right around us up here in Delaware.
Any place that's dumb enough to let us in, we will go and shoot something.
You do it.
We try to. We honestly have just been writing, I would say, very method to what is in our town.
What's available to us. Yeah.
So we'll think like, oh my gosh, we totally can shoot inside there. So we'll have to just write a piece that's happening in there. So yeah, we have a pretty nice community of people who are just willing to open up their spaces that are what we like to call RTS, ready to shoot. I walk to my mom's house and it just looks like it's straight out of a magazine. I don't have to do anything or hire a production designer. That's just a fantasy for us. It takes a lot of the fun away too. We just sort of try to put people in spaces that are, like I said, RTS, and they can just kind of feel it and know where they are, instead of trying to create a faux space and try to play in that area.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I loved it, and talking to you guys more, I love that you guys literally work with what you have and you make it work.
Exactly.
It's a great job. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Problem solvers, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, to go from making a movie on an iPhone 8, which was night work, to making a movie on an iPhone 12 and getting nominated for Best Feature at Horror Hound says a lot about just the technology gap there that can cover going against cameras that are shot on the Blackmagic Cinema camera or the Aries. And the festival is basically saying, by allowing us in and nominating with us with that sort of prestigious award, that we don't care what you shoot on. We just want to see original, good storytelling. our movie doesn't sound as good, look as good as some of the other projects that we were nominated against, but the festival was open-minded enough to look at it as a fair shake, and I think that should be a big sign for people to start picking up things and creating content for these festivals and become a part of the community.
And like Bob said earlier, you could kind of see the passion behind it. Like we love doing this. We're not making any money off of this. You know what I mean? We have full-time jobs. We do this, on weekends when we're free to get this done, but we just love doing it. There's nothing more fun you can do to make a movie, in my opinion.
No.
Oh yeah. I could tell everyone was having fun while making it too.
Good.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And a lot of that stuff, and I will tell you that in parting words, a lot of those shots, I would say 90% of them were one or
maybe two
takes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because Brian was so great and Grace was so great that, when you put him in makeup and you sort of turn him loose, it's just like, it's not going to get better than the first or second time, especially with him and her. They just had such a natural chemistry. So it made our job very easy when you hire those kind of people like Ellie Church and Jason Crow to come in and just knock it out of the park.
And just play with us and just have fun.
Point and shoot, really, when it comes to that kind of talent. So, yeah.
So I actually, one of your answers recently kind of inspired one of the questions I had on my mind. What inspired the choice of Candyland to be essentially like the devil's game here?
Yeah, I just think it was a game you didn't have to explain to an audience visually. Everyone gets it.
It's like the dumbest game ever. Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
It's like there's no skill at all. It's just
zero skill, and the fact that the devil would bet all of these things.
It's like like Candyland, bet your soul. Sure,
on Candyland, yeah, and I think it's like I said, just visually. You don't have to explain anything, and why not that one?
And plus, it's just fun to shoot. It's ready to shoot.
It is.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's fun talking to you guys. This is
you as well,
awesome.
man. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And just real quick, I'll throw out my invitation. If you guys want to shoot me an email when your new project's coming out, and you can come on and promote it. Absolutely do that.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, guys, have a good one. Have a good day.
Take care, guys.
All that stuff.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Good luck with the podcast, man. I love the production value. It's phenomenal.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, Ed Harris dancing sells anything.
Yeah, I meant to warn you guys. I hope you guys are okay with Ed Harris dancing.
Absolutely.
Who isn't, man?
It's all good.
Yeah.
National treasure. Hey, you see that? Hey, he was in that movie, the second one. All right, bye.
Ciao, guys.
Yeah, have a good one.
Take care.
All right. So our next topic will be Godzilla X Kong. I need to get set up for this because my daughter is going to discuss this with us. So give me one moment, and I will be right back.
All right. So I'll just talk aimlessly while this is going on then. Oh,
yeah, I want it to be aimless, Bobby. Okay.
Oh, patterns and strokes of paint, the fabric of our lives. I'll just explain why I'm not going to be joining in on this. I was unable to check it out due to some unfortunate circumstances, but I honestly feel after watching -1, I don't really need to see another Godzilla movie ever again unless they make a sequel to that one. Those are my thoughts on it. But Bob is setting up more on this. I think he's going to get the kiddo involved because I believe he probably saw, or she probably saw that with him. So it should be good. But we did put the link to the Midnight Film Company on Facebook in the chat. So if anyone in the chat wants to check out their movies, I highly recommend you do. It was really entertaining, thoroughly hilarious, and just kind of campy enough that it's just so enjoyable that definitely has high rewatch value. Right. Oh, silly things of the corporate world.
Where's the endless chatter, Bobby? What the hell?
Oh, I had just stopped momentarily.
Oh, jeez.
I got an email from work and I just had to roll my eyes and live react to it.
I guess my daughter wants to hear.
What's up, kid?
Hi.
So Bobby didn't get around to seeing Godzilla X Kong, you slacker.
Because reasons.
This is the best Godzilla movie I've seen since Godzilla -1, which
since the
was
last Godzilla movie we've
vastly,
seen.
vastly better. But real initial thoughts, I thought this was fine.
Okay.
It was totally fine.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Like if you're looking for me to be like, oh my god, you know, it's definitely a movie where I don't have a strong emotional connection to it. Like I don't like it. Like technically, I don't have any issue with it. But I will say I can break down this story into 3 parts. There is a King Kong story that is probably the best story, where it's almost silent, but you have Godzilla essentially doing trying to figure out this mystery in the Hollow Earth. You know, he's finding like evil apes who are just being jerks to him, and he's tracking them down, and that is probably the best story. And then you have the second story, well, my second favorite, which is probably the human story, which is obviously a lot of exposition because they can actually talk and explain stuff. Where Kong, we're just kind of doing a visual story with him. And that's okay. They do an all right job. I think it's mainly Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, and Dan Stevens. And they're all very capable actors, and they do a good job. And then we have
the Godzilla story, which is Godzilla doing stuff.
Yeah, Godzilla is number 1, not in this actually a whole lot. This is a lot of Kong, which I don't really complain about because I thought Kong Skull Island was underrated. There are issues with that, but I enjoy it. Yeah, the Godzilla story is almost nothing. The Godzilla story is him walking around and getting powers and charging up, and humans explaining that that's what he's doing, and then that's it. Like
basically the entire time with
Yeah.
Kong, it's like a bunch of people up in airplanes being like, "Oh my goodness, he's beating up Rome! Oh my goodness, he's gonna go and fight that really territorial titan in the ocean.
Yeah, which is like a 2-minute fight.
That has pink energy. Oh my goodness, he is defeating the titan, and he now has pink energy.
Yeah,
and then
that's the whole Godzilla story.
I did it. I did all of it.
Yeah,
for you.
But like with Kong, like we actually can kind of follow a motivation. Like, you know, he's finding apes, which he's been lonely, so he wants to find apes, but like these apes are assholes and jerks, and he's trying to figure out what the heck, why are these people jerks? And we can follow that, we empathize that, and we're cool. And then Godzilla is just getting powers from creatures, and we're just told that there's this big bad monster coming out, but we don't know anything about it.
Godzilla basically just spends like the most of the movie just like kicking butt for no discernible reason.
And maybe that was done purposely on the filmmakers' part to focus mainly on Kong, because let's face it, Godzilla -1 did just come out, and they might be like, yeah, we don't want to harken back to that too much because holy shit.
The good Godzilla movie was already made. If you try to focus in too much on Godzilla, it's just going to be like too much. Like people are going to compare it because they came out so near to each other.
Yes.
And you don't want to be compared to Godzilla -1 because it's not going to make you look good.
No. Godzilla -1 was insane.
Oscar-winning Godzilla -1.
I want to say Godzilla -1 was only nominated in 1 category, and it won it.
Criminally nominated in 1 category.
Yes.
Godzilla -1 wasn't just good as like a Godzilla movie good. It was just like good as a movie.
Yes, absolutely.
It was nice.
So I guess my review of Godzilla X Kong is just watch Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So when it comes to this franchise, this monster franchise, I think they've done an okay job of all these film studios trying to make these big Marvel franchises. I feel like this is probably one of the more successful ones. In that, like, they haven't really crapped the bed with any of these movies, because most of them open the gate and just shit the bed. Tom Cruise's The Mummy comes to mind.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about.
We don't
that.
talk
Like,
about that.
Beautiful.
dude,
Nah.
Dracula Untold sucked, but was somehow way better than Tom Cruise's The Mummy.
Well, he wanted to turn that into a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, well, he wanted it to be like a Marvel movie. It's like, no, don't do that.
We're building a franchise, right? It needs to be like Marvel, and I need to
No.
and I need to be in a plane that's crashing.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know. But yeah, so what? I'm trying to remember. So like, there's 2014's Godzilla, which was fine. It was an fine one. There's Kong Skull Island, which I kind of enjoyed, and then there was Godzilla King of the Monsters. As I recall, that was decent. It's been a while since I've seen it. And then we got Kong v Godzilla, and I feel like that and Kong X Godzilla are kind of almost the same quality wise. So I guess if you like versus, this will be kind of more the same.
I've seen like a Godzilla versus King Kong that was fucking great. That actually has two different versions.
I haven't seen that many. So
It's the older ones back when it was a guy in a suit.
The
Now,
Toho ones.
Yeah. The one that was released here in the States, King Kong won. The one that was released over in Japan, Godzilla won. Because you know they can't have their boy losing. That's the one also where Kong got super drunk off the berries.
Nice. But yeah, I as judging from the American ones, like I said, like Godzilla Minus One was only my second of the Toho Godzilla movies I've actually seen.
What's your first?
Godzilla 1954.
Okay, got it.
Which is actually,
yeah.
I cannot stress this enough. 100% decent movie. Yes, the effects are dated, but like it's a really good looking movie.
It's really good.
I cannot recommend it enough.
It's almost as good as the monster from Prehistoric Planet.
We don't talk about the monster from Prehistoric Planet.
Well, the monster from Prehistoric Planet is beautiful, Father. It's art.
Yeah, it's got like the chicken lizard, man.
She likes to watch Great Trash with me sometimes.
I do like to watch Great Trash. It's yes.
So yeah, like I guess I don't have any like. I thought this was fine. This was a fine movie. Yeah, I don't have anything really huge to say about it. I liked the Kong stuff. And then the human stuff was fine. And then the Godzilla stuff was kind of forgettable. But, you know, we can't not have Godzilla in a movie called Godzilla X Kong, where he's pretty much the lead in the title.
I mean, we could just be goofy for a little bit if you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
We could just be goofy if you don't know what to say.
You want to be goofy?
We could be goofy. We could be goofy.
Oh, okay.
Let's be goofy.
Okay, what do you want to be goofy with?
Was there anybody who was way too into the movie when you saw it? Like cheering? Like, yeah!
I didn't notice anything like that.
No.
To be honest with you, it just kind of seemed. I think every now and then I noticed someone, you know, having a good little chuckle. But like besides that, it's pretty silent in the movie theater.
Yeah. So unlike the title, they never ship.
Yeah,
they never hook up. It's very disappointing.
I know. Before we went, you were like, "Would you want to see Godzilla X Kong?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, is it actually called Godzilla X Kong?" I had to explain shipping terminology.
Yeah,
now,
I didn't know that. I assumed it meant
businesses,
crossover, but yeah.
Yes, it does mean crossover, and I'm certain that's what they mean because that's more of like the business way to like indicate a crossover is to put an X between the two things. And Godzilla and Kong are basically brands at this point. I would argue.
And
I don't know if they're technically brands, but they're basically brands. They're brands in many of the ways that matter. And
yeah.
But you see, when you put an X between like two like fictional characters' names, that often means that you're shipping them. And so, obviously, I had to watch the movie from that perspective because, like, when you name a movie that's the only perspective that you can watch it in.
Chuck, I've had bowel movements better than Roland Emmerich's Godzilla from 1998. I'm just gonna say it. That was atrocious, man.
I mean,
that is a low bar.
Like,
I guess I probably haven't seen that.
Hank Azaria was in there, and he tried to save that movie.
Oh no, they have some very talented actors in there, but oof. I love the the baby Godzillas that totally aren't ripping off the raptors at the end.
Totally aren't raptors.
Yeah, that was
totally aren't
great.
raptors.
But
yeah, those guys can open doors.
Cool. But yeah, Godzilla X Kong. I guess like if you're wondering if you should go see it, I'd say if you've been enjoying the MonsterVerse so far, yeah, go check it out. Go check it out.
I mean, the romance is palpable.
But yeah, if you're not super engaged with this MonsterVerse, I don't know. Go watch Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That was underrated.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Was that the one that you saw?
Yeah.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, because it was getting bad reviews, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just go by myself. We're busy this weekend with the Horror Hound. I'll just go by myself after the kids get picked up. And then I watch it and went, this is decent. Why is this getting bad reviews? I don't get it.
All right.
Chuds. Chuds are gonna chud. That's why.
That's true. They were trying to say it's woke, even though like there isn't a lesbian romance. Like I kind of feel like it. But yeah.
What?
There was subtextual lesbians in there,
A little bit, yeah.
and I wasn't.
Comedian, you say you want a fake biopic? Like the Weird Al movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Here we go.
I mean,
About the guy in the suit.
About the guy in the suit?
I mean, I think
or
a real
like
one could be interesting, but a fake one.
Well, they've made it. They've already done the fake music biopic before. They did Walk Hard. John C. Reilly.
That's true.
And that like kind of changed the way music biopics are made now because no one really follows that formula anymore, except for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I was about ready to say Bohemian Rhapsody is the most formulaic one. Like, I love Queen's music, and that got me through that movie. And Rami Malek does a good job, but
yeah, I don't know that.
And it was directed by no one; it just came into existence, which is the amazing thing about it.
Yeah.
we don't say his name.
Yeah.
But yes, I guess do we want to move on to what we got? Oh yeah, X-Men, the last half of season 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I saw this when I was very young, so I can nod.
Yes, you remember it very well.
I can nod and smile and chuckle randomly to throw you guys off.
I mean, if you guys want, you can see what I've been looking at off screen. It's a bit distracting because IMDb has those little trailers, and half the time I'm not even sure. Like, I think I'm safe to not get copyrighted, but it does scare me. But
we're screen sharing.
Yes, that is what I'm looking off and seeing. But yeah,
this
animated series. Oh, go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this later end of it was really good.
Yeah, well,
a few stinkers,
I was shocked
but good.
Yeah, they overall do a really good job of Dark Phoenix. I feel like that one kind of carries us half the season. Despite the limited animation, like that story is just so good, and they do a decent job adapting it, and it's fairly comic book accurate. Although a little gripe, and I know they complain about not being able to say interviews have come out with the creators of the original animated series talking about how there's certain words they can't use. I'm guessing one of them's hell, because instead of the inner circle of the Hellfire Club manipulating Jean as the Phoenix and kind of getting her to become Dark Phoenix, it is the Inner Circle Club manipulating her and getting her to become Dark Phoenix.
It's the inside of the circle.
Yeah, inside the circle.
You know the one. You know the circle.
Yeah,
it's the inner circle, Bob. The inner
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah, no, when they first saw that sign, it's like Inner Circle, and they just call it Inner Circle. I'm like, what is that? Like, are they going to mention Hellfire Club? And nope.
Yeah,
Nope,
no.
it's
The whole
Inner
time's like,
Circle.
okay, so yeah, the Hellfire Club. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna call it the inner circle. It's for kids, so
It's
don't
the
want to terrify
inside
them too much.
of a circle.
Yeah, the inside of a circle.
The
Well,
inner.
I'm tainting her mind right now by saying Hellfire Club. It's sad. Is your mind tainted?
My brain is slowly melting out through my ear sockets.
Yeah.
It's just gonna.
You're
like,
warping her
drip
fragile
all
little
the way
mind.
down in pink clay as it often does.
She can't handle fucking bad language like hell. It's really
shit.
bad language.
Ah!
I'm a terrible father. But Yeah, no, well, the Fire Club, that would've been
no, Bobby.
nice.
There's
right.
there's
They
worse
should have
there's
called it
worse
the
dads than
Heckfire
you,
Club.
man. There's worse dads than you.
Yeah.
There's Joe Jackson.
I don't know who Joe Jackson is, but I agree.
Michael Jackson's father.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. That guy seemed unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
They could have called it the Poopy Pants Club. That would be
They could
serious
have.
and scary.
Or they
Yeah.
could have called it the
Hot
I
Fire
just had
Club?
it. I just had it.
They could call it
The
like
Sinister
the state
Seven.
Up, they could call it like the state up past curfew club to show bad.
The infamous and furious alliance.
Let me see. So, like, I feel like this half of the season was really dominated by that Dark Phoenix Saga.
Yeah,
Which was
it
really goddamn
definitely
well done. There's little things
was,
that
but
bugged me.
I really enjoyed
I was gonna
Savage
say, little
Land,
things
Savage
that-
Heart Part 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was decent too. And then the
Cold
other
Comfort
one,
wasn't
the
bad.
thing I'm gonna bring back to Dark Phoenix because I did think it was funny when the X-Men die. So in the comic book, the X-Men die in that battle with the Shi'ar. They're
Yeah.
all dead, and Jean Grey essentially gives her life to bring them back to life. But here, like Storm and Gambit, kind of they get knocked out, but they're clearly still alive. But then Wolverine is apparently killed, and then Rogue is apparently killed, and then Beast just flips away. I rewound it just to see. Wait, what
Yeah, he
happened to Beast?
backflipped his way out of there.
Yeah, Jean was saying, "Oh my God, I can't contact any of the X-Men." She was acting just like they were when Morph died, when they don't say he died, but it's like I can't contact him. Jean was saying that, and I was like, "Wait, did they all die?" And like, I rewound it because the only ones I remember were Wolverine and Rogue, and like, yeah, Storm and Gambit, kinda, but it's clear they're not dead. And then Beast, yeah, he's just she's just not counting him. She just fuck Beast. I don't care about that one.
You know, Dad, this is why I always tell you to do a backflip, because if you do enough backflips, you could get your way out of anything.
True. This is true.
Yes.
Yeah.
You brought up Cold Comfort, and that was okay in my opinion.
It felt out of place, though.
It did feel out of place. So that's the Iceman comes back. He's one of the original X-Men, but Scott doesn't like him because he's a rogue. But yeah,
Scott's such a Boy Scout.
Yeah, he retired so he could be with Lorna, aka Polaris, aka Magneto's daughter, but they don't go into that here. But she decides she wants to go back and fight for mutants, so she joins a mutant organization called X Factor. Scott encounters Havoc, but they don't know each other. We kind of get all of X Factor using the X badge logo, but like they don't know anything about it. And I do think it's interesting how they're X Factor. I guess they're named after Xavier as well. And if like here they're just a government agency, but if you know anything about the history of the team, that was essentially when the original X-Men was canceled and they came back in Giant Size X-Men. The new team was like Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Storm, Sunfire, and I want to say I'm probably forgetting somebody. But that was like the new team. And when that team took off and was successful, they launched X Factor, which was literally just the original X-Men team in New Adventures. So it made sense for them to still have X. Here they're just a government team. It's like, oh, that's a change. And yeah, I have no idea why they're called X in that one. And then, yeah, look, IMDb is off because Disney Plus puts them in the order they are supposed to air in instead of what was actually produced. But yeah, let's see. So Savage Land, Savage Heart. Yeah, those were decent. And then what else do we have?
Orphan's End.
Cold Comfort. Orphan's End. Oh yeah, that was the one with Scott's dad, where it's established that it's his dad.
But didn't they establish that earlier in the series?
That's
early
the thing.
this
Like,
season?
I don't think they did, and I just
think
remember him
they
being.
made mention or teased it in
Oh, they definitely teased it, but I don't think they
episode
they firmly
6,
established it.
the Phoenix Saga Part 4,
Yeah,
Starjammers.
where we first meet them.
Yeah.
I think they definitely do that, but
And Love
that
and
one
Vain was kind of a weird one.
Love and Bane to end the season on was a bit rough, and I felt like that would be like a cool one because it's like, okay, Rogue's dealing with not being able to be with anybody, and she sees Cyclops and Jean being happy together, and it frustrates her because she can't have that. But then, like, her ex-boyfriend calls her, and he's fun fact: the ex-boyfriend that she had her first kiss with, who she put into a coma, who later dies in the comic book, but here he doesn't die because they don't really kill off people here. But yeah, he calls her, and then there's a thing where these aliens are able to nullify her powers so she can touch him, and she thinks, oh wow, I can be with him and I'm still in love with him. And yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Are you bored out of your mind?
I just don't know what's happening.
Yeah, we're talking about Love and Vain.
I check in when I can.
Okay.
I was gonna be like, they named it The X Factor after the hit TV show, but then you kept on talking and I couldn't keep my joke in.
Yes, definitely named after the hit TV show that came out after this was made. Yeah, and it was. Yeah, I did not like it because the whole thing was actually just an alien plot, a wonky alien plot. Her boyfriend, like Wolverine, got fighting the aliens, and he slowly became an alien, and then all the X-Men become aliens. It's dumb. It's dumb. But yeah,
I believe you.
Yes. Like, so essentially for me, Savage Land, Savage Heart's okay, and then Dark Phoenix, pretty fucking good for the second half of season 3. Do we want to do Discovery?
Yeah, let's.
You
I
saw
can talk about
Discovery.
Discovery
Yes,
because I watched Discovery.
you watched it. You watched the first
Yeah.
5 episodes of Discovery. So I'm not a huge fan of Discovery season 1. That being said, I thought the first 5 episodes were fine.
Yeah.
I think little thing I will critique it for is I feel it's a little bit off because you almost have like this pilot 2-parter that feels a bit disconnected from the series as a whole. And part of me kind of wishes they had like folded that into the series later, done like almost like a menagerie thing with it, like they did in the original series. But then another part of me kind of likes separating it out so you're not 100% sure where the series is going. So I guess at the end of the day, I'm not sure if they handled it the best way or not. But it was okay. And it does. My biggest issue with that 2-parter is that it makes it feel like a bit more of a Michael show than I think they intended, because I think it's like as the series progresses, it feels more and more ensemble. But it definitely feels like the Michael show at this point.
I can tell you, I didn't think of it as being an ensemble show at all.
Yeah,
we're dealing with Michael and all of her problems.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we get a little bit with the characters outside. I mean, that the last episode had a lot of Lorca being kidnapped by the Klingons.
We got like a little bit of her roommate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's some people.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of people you see every episode that you don't even know the name of. Like, there's the one that is actually on the first ship. She's in like all the episodes, but she has like no role, and you just see her as a normal human. And then you see her on the second ship, and she's like a cyborg. And it's like she must have gotten injuries in that Klingon battle. And then the other character is Saru, which is, you get plenty of Saru, and he's cool, and I'm cool to see Doug Jones in anything, frankly. Bobby, I don't think you've seen this before. What are your thoughts?
I enjoyed this. I had heard some iffiness about it before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, it's okay. But most of the negativity I had read from it was just from, Chud reviewers.
Yeah, it can't get like that.
Yeah, like they just get angry that there's a woman in charge, and they just forget about Voyager. But hey, that's none of my business. Hey, Sunny Dark, what's up?
Yeah. Fun fact: Star Trek was always woke.
Just like the X-Men. Just like the X-Men.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know.
But I did like how they carried over from one to another. I really liked that. And I mean, most of Star Trek does that, and they always have. But like the first 2 episodes, I think it really just kind of hooks you into Discovery, and kind of like I really like what they're doing with like the molecule storyline and how they're controlling that, and that's really cool. And I really like the design of the Klingons in this. I really
not really. I'm not a huge fan, although I do think it does serve the purpose of making them more alien.
Yeah.
Of course, it does get confusing when essentially Strange New Worlds kind of reverts them back to a bit more what they looked like before.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm used to seeing the curlied hair and everything, but I'm just presuming that maybe they are diehards. Okay, well, where does this take place in the timeline?
Around 10 years before the original series.
Yeah, because I saw when they like they had
yes, well, Sarek is in it in probably like 3 episodes.
No, not Sarek. The alien first mate on the new ship.
Saru?
Yeah, Saru. Yes, where he asked like the greatest captains living in the Federation, and one of them was Pike. Yeah, and I was like, okay, so this kind of helps me place where in the timeline it kind of is, sort of.
Yeah, they name dropped everyone they could.
They could, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The head engineer, the actor, Anthony Rapp, I'm like actually a very big fan of his. When I saw his name on the credits or like the cast, I was like, oh, okay. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, his character is one of the more interesting ones because I find him, part of me finds him kind of insufferable, and part of me also kind of likes him because like I get where he's coming from. What was your take on him?
I'm kind of I don't think he's okay.
Yeah, well,
he's okay.
I didn't have it's like I understand why he's upset, but he is just kind of annoying and a bit of a jerk sometimes.
Yes, he is very much.
So I'm just not, like I feel like if I'm to empathize with him, it's going to happen later.
Yeah, well, I like how Culber treats him too, and you'll see more of that throughout the series because Culber is just like this nice, mellow dude.
I've seen a chunk. I wouldn't say all of his work, but I've seen a good portion of it. Never seen him play a jerk like this before, so I'm actually just enjoying that.
Yeah.
Does he normally play like a very sweet guy?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen Dazed and Confused?
Have I seen Dazed and Confused?
Yes.
I don't think so. It's been forever since I've seen it.
If I'm asking it, that means that it doesn't matter because I clearly don't remember.
Yeah.
He was one of the nerdy kids, and well, not really nerdy because every kid in there was different cliques, but they all still knew each other and hung out. But the blonde guy out of the nerdy bunch, the one with Adam Goldberg.
It's been too long.
There are too many blonde guys.
It's been at least 10 years. It's been in
Watch it again, Bob.
You'll
see him immediately.
Dazed and Confused, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, rewatching it at a modern lens, there's some stuff that isn't so great. But
oh dear.
There's one Matthew McConaughey line. No, there is one Matthew McConaughey line that's a little
Well, Matthew McConaughey can get kind of
Yeah.
Listen, man, he just loves his Lincoln, okay? But yeah, so like I guess it's talking about lines. What do you guys think of the Elon Musk line?
I don't even know why people thought that he was cool back then. As far as I know, he's just like a rich man that owns a company.
I just remember when I first heard that line, where he's like, you have to be like the great thinkers of the future, like the Wright brothers, Zefram Cochrane and Elon Musk. And even at the time, I was like, like there was
what has that guy ever thought about in his life?
There was a better image
other
of
than
him
himself
back then because Yeah, it was like the electric car guy. So like there was a better image of him back then, but even back then, like there's some stuff on him where it was like, he's not such a great guy. I don't know if you should be name dropping him. And now it's dated terribly because oh my god,
Elon Musk is a very special man.
That man doesn't know how to properly wear a cowboy hat. But
yeah,
that's everything you need to know about Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
He walked around the border wearing a cowboy hat backwards around a bunch of people who wear them regularly, and nobody told him that he was wearing it backwards.
The dude, yeah, he sank his fortune into Twitter, and he's making it shitty. And I'm not calling it X; it is Twitter because
no, if he can't acknowledge his trans kid's real name, then I'm going to call Twitter by its dead name.
True. There's that too, and also I just don't respect him at all.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think he is. I remember when he rose to, I guess, first popularity in the American zeitgeist of pop culture. I think that I don't know. My first thing was like looking at him, going, "So what has he done?" Well, he's rich. Okay, so what does he do? But he's rich, man. Okay. What does he do? Oh, no, you don't get it, dude. He's just rich and he's really awesome. Okay. This guy screams Bond villain to me. So no.
Yeah, he does. I always found it interesting how his hair grew in as he got older. Like he just, it's an interesting twist.
Andy, you think Twitter is better now than before?
No, we can address that. Yeah, Andy. I don't know. It is nice that Nazis have a place to play, I guess.
Yeah. You know, everyone has
their place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a place to, you know, spread their hatred and vileness. That's a good thing, I guess.
I mean, I've gotten very liberal with the block button on Twitter at this point.
I mean, yeah, but I'm still surprised that even though I don't follow hardly any like mouthpieces of the other side, they are certainly recommended to me in great length.
Yes, very much so.
And I just have fun trolling that comment section.
I don't think I've seen. Have I seen either Machete movie?
It's been years. I don't even remember.
That's right. I was about ready to say, was Machete one of the ones in the Grindhouse? But no, Machete was a fake trailer in Grindhouse that became.
Which they've made movies out of almost all of them, but one.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
I just thought there was just Machete.
Hobo with a Shotgun was a trailer in there, and they made
really
a
okay.
movie.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done the Grindhouse.
But I think the last one is like Werewolf Nazis or something like that.
The one they need to make.
Yes.
But yeah, so like the first 5 episodes of Discovery, I know I have issues with this season, but we haven't really gotten to them yet. This is kind of like Star Trek after what? I guess only a year after Star Trek Beyond, but you know, a long time since we've been in the prime timeline. And, you know, they're just doing a darker version of Star Trek. And at this point, it's decent, I think. I think they do a all right job.
Yeah, I will say the first curse bomb that dropped, it did kind of take me back for a second. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Did they just...
Yeah, this is the first F-bomb in Star Trek franchise history.
I was like, did they just drop an F-bomb? Like,
Then the episode was R-rated.
And then, well, I mean, I think that was also the same episode that finally introduced the first same-sex couple in Star Trek, which was, frankly, long overdue. I mean, that was something Gene Roddenberry was talking about regretting not doing in TNG. Just saying.
I mean,
proving once again that it's
first same-sex couple, but I know what you
mean. No, well, the first, yeah, I guess the first characters that identify as queer. Because, yeah, Jadzia never identifies as queer, but she pretty much is. She's bi.
Do they, like, say it out loud? Is that, like, the I'm forgetting.
I guess they don't.
Because I feel like if it's there, then it's there.
Yeah, now you're throwing me for a loop.
Like,
okay?
I don't...
Yeah, you're throwing me for a loop because you're technically right. So the second same-sex couple in Star Trek history. No, not in the first regular. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. Second same-sex couple in Star Trek history. You are correct. You've gotten me. Jadzia Dax did beat them to it like 20 years earlier.
It's true. I'm always right.
But yeah, so the first few episodes are solid. And the first F-bomb in Star Trek history was definitely the most controversial thing ever this series did, and the only thing that chuds talk about.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing
I
else
can
that
I can
Chuck
hear
has any
them.
issue with.
I can hear the rage boners screech now.
But yeah, I will have complaints to come later, but so far, good.
But not next week, because we're not
next
going
week.
back to-
Yeah, next week. What do we have lined up next week?
We have another guest next week.
That's right. We're looking at the filmmaker behind
Dead Men Ride Again.
Dead Men Ride Again. Maybe I will cue that up and we can end on that because that a cool little trailer. And then so we'll talk to the filmmaker behind that, and then we'll and then we're covering that one Dev Patel movie that looks cool, Monkey Man.
We're also covering Invincible Season 2, Part 2.
Yes. I want to double check, make sure that was coming out. So that might switch out unless it is actually out.
It's out.
It is out. Okay. All right.
And we're also covering one of my
Action
personal favorite movies.
Yeah.
Last Action Hero.
Nice.
One that I know
I've never seen it before, and it's always been one I've wanted to see.
That I'm surprised that you have never seen this movie.
As someone who was like a diehard Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, it's
like
kind of
seriously.
shocking. I've seen some stinkers. I've seen
I've
seen Hercules in New York. Woof.
Have you seen Pumping Iron?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, that's a fine movie, but I mean, it's
more of a documentary.
It's a doc, yeah. And
you've heard about how he feels when he's pumping that last set, and that's pretty much the only reason why you would need to watch that movie.
There's The Villain, which sounds like a really fun movie. But
The Villain is played by Charles Dance, and it's in my opinion,
Villain, Last Action Hero. So Arnold Schwarzenegger has an early movie called The Villain, where it's him and Sophia. God damn it, the one actress, Sophia Loren.
Okay,
he's like the hero, and she's like the damsel in distress, and the villain is Kirk Douglas. And when I heard that cast list, I was
sold.
Yeah, that sounds
Kirk
awesome.
Douglas,
and it kind of sucks. Arnold Schwarzenegger is dreadful in it. It takes him a little bit to find his footing.
All right, well, this one he knows. I think he's very much aware that he's in an action movie, and they very much know what they're doing in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes, and to be
so true, and to be 1986.
Truth.
So real of you to say those words in that order.
Yes, I do. I saw that movie in theaters. Yes, I don't have too many memories of it. It came.
I knew
out,
he was in
saw
there.
It was
not
entertaining.
Too many memories,
yeah.
I don't remember it at all.
I think it was before you were born.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel old.
Yeah. Makes me feel old too.
Yeah, Jackie Chan. That was during Jackie Chan's peak where he was doing.
When he was making movies in this country. Now he doesn't. Because he hates Hollywood.
He did not enjoy it. Yeah.
Because he hates Hollywood.
Yeah. So yeah, but we got some cool movies coming out next week. Or it's cool movies to talk about next week. Let me go ahead and get this queued up because this trailer is off. You know what? I can just share the trailer. Hold on. Here we go. So the filmmaker behind this movie will be on the podcast next week. So everyone, be excellent to each other and party on.
Take care.
Hello?
So you're a postman.
That's right.
Listen, postman. Eugene City is not where you want to be right now.